They're waiting longer and longer and longer to want to contact us because they know that entire world of information is exploding, right? As much time as they want to spend digging into it on their own, they can't because it's never ending, right? So we tend to overlook something. And you and I talked about this before as the trust gap, right? Part of the reason why, a big part of the reason why they're doing all of that research is A, it's available. They can do it on their own time, whenever they want. But here's the other part of that. And this came out of the most recent LinkedIn Edelman study. 32,000 respondents worldwide. 61% of them think that we as business leaders in the selling organization are intentionally misleading them. Not just stretching the truth a little bit, intentionally misleading. Think about that, right? Why would I talk to somebody that I think is going to be intentionally misleading to me? A whole other study showed that 74% of B2B buyers, they don't trust the customer evidence we present to them. This is how we package up what we do. Here's the value we create for our clients. We could do it for you too. And they're not buying it. And that same LinkedIn Edelman, they put at the bottom of the totem pole in terms of trust was the salesperson. And we wonder why they're waiting longer and longer and longer to want to talk to us, right? So this trust gap, how do we break that down? How do we get past that? And everybody, you talked about that we have to be aligned on the experience that we're creating for them. And I just wanted to give you time to kind of dig into that, because if we don't address this trust gap or this trust epidemic or whatever we call it, and we just say, let's just kind of keep going on like we always have, it'll just work, right?
No, but Steve, that's why the customer is getting more and more important, because the customer that is truly talking about his or her experience with a supplier and not delivering a shiny success story that is, let's say, overselling, is a lot more trustworthy than if you only show how shiny this world is. And this is, let's say, our own fault. We have been overselling. We have really been overselling in the past, and maybe also try to show to the customers that there is a tremendous return on investment and so on, and try to generate, let's say, new trust elements for the investment. And I think we are really coming back to the truth, coming back to the customer, talking with the customer, making events on customer side in order to show to the prospects, talk to this customer. I'm not going to do the selling. Talk to the customer. If you trust what he has experienced within the project with our competence, then this is probably the best selling USP you can get. And it's not us doing the overselling. I think this is extremely important. And you can see this also on the different marketplaces. They want to have references. They want to have customer videos. They want to have the real experience. They don't want to have, we decided for Cosmo Consult and suddenly all the problems in our processes were gone. This is not true. And we know how bumpy the way is to implement a huge software project. This is going to be a bumpy process. If you do it with us, if you do it with our direct competitor or someone from a different ERP solution in their portfolio, it will be a bumpy project. But the question is, what is the experience around the entire customer journey? Do you trust this partner? Do you have a partnership? Or is it just a supplier? And this is what we are trying to do. And we know, once you decide for an ERP solution, you will definitely use it at least 10 years. Most of them here in Germany are 12, 15 years old. So this is the duration of the usage of an ERP solution is longer than the average marriage in Germany,